like sharking. And sharking is something that's done like at dusk, and you throw out some chunk bait out there. And
from the beach, not in a boat.
No, from the beach.
You like sharking.
It's fun.
What's up, everybody? I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is my co-host, Roman Harper, and this is the NFL Players Second Acts podcast coming to you from New Orleans, Super Bowl 59. Yeah, let's go. Well, look, man, first and foremost, thank you all for tuning in. As always, we got to get right to it. Peanut, tell us about our awesome guest. I mean, I literally can't stop talking to this guy already. I've watched this guy ever since I was a kid. He is a Hall of Famer, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pod, Joe Montana. Yes.
Well, thank you. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, man. We already got to talking a little bit before, but this is something I would love to know. And if you could tell any of these young people or somebody that hasn't watched you play football before to go back and watch one game that encapsulates all of who Joe Montana is as a quarterback, which game would that be?
We played the Eagles in Philly when Buddy Ryan was there.
Yeah.
And we went back there, and they just had, their defense was stacked. I mean, Reggie White. Yeah. I mean, their defensive front.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you guys are a finesse team. You can't handle this. And the first series, and they blitz, and we get man-to-man, and I throw a touchdown to Jerry, I don't know, 60, 70 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, dang, this is going to be easier than I thought. And then I never picked myself up off the ground more times.
Yeah.
In a game ever. Yeah. And we got behind, and we ended up coming back to win. We scored like 3 or 4 touchdowns late in the game. Yeah. But the funniest part is like the last touchdown we scored, all we needed to do was we went ahead and to run out the clock, what we call a little read route by the back, and he went out, sat down. He was sitting there wide open, and I threw a go, and you could see our coach goes, in our video after the game, like, what the heck are you doing? And Jerry catches a touchdown to kind of put icing on the cake.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would say that's probably one of the ones I think about the most.
Okay.
I love that.
So who do you think has the prettier ball other than yourself?
I don't know. These guys, if we could have done what they do to the balls today, man, you see those balls?
Like, what do they, like they're rubbing all on them?
Yeah.
The oil, you couldn't do that, or that was not a thing?
No. We weren't allowed to. There was some point where you had to they stopped because the kickers were messing with the balls so much.
Yeah.
We had to take them out of the box, and they are like glass. And I think maybe even Brady and maybe Peyton actually went in and said something to the NFL about it, because and then now all of a sudden, you look at the ball, it's dark chocolate brown.
Yeah.
I'm like, so when my boys were going to start playing, they were trying out for, one went to the 49ers, the other was going to go to the Raiders. I called the equipment guys here in Kansas City, Alan Wright. I said, Alan, what do you guys do to the ball, man? Just make it look like that. And he goes, oh man, we put all this mud and all this stuff all over it. I said, can you send me some of that? I would get the ball ready. But man, the grip is so different. Yeah, so these guys can spin it all. They all can spin it.
I didn't even know that. I think somebody just learned something new that back then.
It's weird though. The kicker's still kicking like the balls that are red.
Yeah, they got K balls. So I don't know the difference between a new ball and an older ball as far as kickers go. I would think
the kickers, what they were doing back then, they'd wet them down.
Yeah,
and stick them in a dryer, and they would like pump them up a little bit. So they'd be thicker than normal, so easier to kick. And so they made them all stop doing it. And so to do that, then we got penalized, so we had to play with balls right out of the box. And it was not fun. Not fun, especially in cold weather.
Oh, yeah. Fun. Well, Joe, we all know how many championships you are and how successful you've been on the football field. How impressive has it been from you watching this Kansas City team get to 3 straight Super Bowls, understanding how hard it is and winning at the ultimate level?
It's been fun. I mean, at the quarterback level, I don't think there's anyone more exciting to watch than Mahomes, right? I mean, he's not a Lamar with that kind of running ability, but he can run. Yeah. But he'll throw the ball behind his back, sidearm, underarm, whatever it takes to get it done, and he'll run if he has to run.
Yeah.
And he's just fun to watch. I think it's great. to have someone the first time be a three-peat would be fun to see. Would it be fun to see the Eagles win? Yeah. It'd be fun to have somebody different. But I think Chiefs are going to be hard to beat. But if Philly can control the ball, when you look back on the successful teams, most of them can run the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
And they can do that for sure.
Yeah. So I know you're here and you're here talking about some vaccinations and you're bringing awareness about pneumonia. So it took me about 10 minutes to try to figure out how to say this word.
Pneumococcal?
Yes. Pneumococcal pneumonia.
Exactly.
Talk to me about pneumococcal pneumonia.
Yeah. So I've been working with Pfizer now for a number of years on this. And, pneumococcal pneumonia, the CDC recently just lowered the age, at-risk age limit to 50 and above. And if 50 and above, you're 6 times more at risk than normal.
Yeah.
And so we're just trying to get the word out that that's happened. We want people to go out and check with their doctor, their pharmacist, whatever, and get vaccinated. I got vaccinated. And if you got any questions at all, talk to your doctor. There's a great website they've put out called vaxassist.com. That's vaxassist.com. A lot of great information on that site. So, just trying to get people to, continue to worry about their health. Every time you get turned on the news, there's something that's going on and running around. And now you're seeing a lot on TV about this. And we're just trying to get the word out that, hey, take care of yourself.
I like it.
I love it. Joe, one more question. And your son went to school here at Tulane. You've been to New Orleans quite a few times. What is your favorite part or favorite restaurant, something about New Orleans that nobody would know about Joe Montana and the time that he gets to spend here in the city?
You know what? There's a few places that we've been. Nicholas took us the first time to a place that made barbecue, like charbroiled oysters.
Yeah.
But there's some of the places like tonight where we met actually at Mr. John's. We're heading there tonight.
Yep.
We found a great little place last night, a little hole in the wall down on Magazine called Miss Shelley's.
Okay.
Miss Shelley's, okay.
Miss Shelley's.
Yeah.
And then one of our favorite places when Nikki was here is Lilette. It's on Magazine also, a little French place. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Talking about
pleasure, man.
pneumococcal pneumonia.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Pneumococcal pneumonia, both with a P.
Right? And it's silent. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Man.
Thanks, man. This is a dream
Great
come
seeing
true.
you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Joe.
You.
Our next guest, he's all defensive guys all over here. And Peanut, kind of get us into it because we're already talking too much ball. We already got cut off once. Go ahead.
Hey, this guy has won 3 Super Bowls, and I'm just getting right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tedy Bruschi to the show.
Hey. Thanks, fellas. Nice to be here.
Considered one of the greatest linebackers to ever play at not only Arizona State, but New England Patriots.
Yeah, University of Arizona.
Sorry, University of Arizona.
State.
Tell them to put some respect on it.
Put some respect on the University of Arizona.
I think I just got so excited because Arizona State had a good year this year. I just want to put everybody in. But
I just want to say one thing.
I just saw Darren Woodson. That's Arizona State. Darren Woodson.
I didn't know he went there.
I
didn't know that. How hot was it when y'all had y'all 2-a-days? That's what I want to know.
I know.
And you played like when it was real 2-a-days.
Yeah, we went down there to Camp Cochise, we called it. We sort of try to go south even to try to beat the heat, but it was just something where we still practiced in the morning, practice in the afternoon, and it was, you just had to beat the heat. That's all we did.
It's just what you know. All right, tell me this, because I love that you're a real football guy. The work you do on ESPN is awesome. I already talked to you about that. What do you think about Steve Spagnuolo, that 4th and 5 blitz call for the Kansas City Chiefs? First of all, the tight split allowed for it to happen.
Right.
Nobody saw that coming at all.
Did you? The DB was coming. I'm telling you, in critical situation. I know you guys saw that tight split. I was thinking, oh, here he comes. But dropping out Bolden and a defensive lineman too. I mean, that the difference was this. I mean, Kansas City, that was like just another play for them. And for the Buffalo Bills, it was like the Super Bowls here, the AFC. I mean, everything's on the line right here. What are we going to do? And Josh sort of, just threw it up. But the Kansas City mentality, I know how it goes. You get in the bigger games, and it's just like, this isn't a big game.
Yeah.
They've been there too many times.
Too many times. And the players, too. I mean, to see them develop from 2 years ago, players like McDuffie and the Karloftis and the, all these guys, these younger guys that are coming up, Watson, the defensive back. Everybody is now championship mentality, and they just know what they have to do.
Yeah, they got that experience. So what do you think we can expect from Spags and his Chiefs defense right now?
I can't wait to see it, because I remember in 2007, the Patriots offense, that team I was on, and Spags was a defensive coordinator for the Giants.
Yeah.
And they got Kavika Mitchell, I think, a linebacker, blitzing, dropping, faking, dropping, and then coming. And then those big guys like Strahan and Justin Tuck, they were coming after Tom. And the plan that he had there, even for us, was different than what they had in week 16 or so, the last game of the regular season when we went 16-0. Spags, you'll have to just wait and see if this is going to be a pressure game, how we stop Saquon, or he's going to make sure you just tackle Saquon and make it a 7-yard gain rather than a 70-yard gain.
How do you stop Saquon? He leads me right into my question. What he's done, not only for this Philadelphia team, but for the NFL and how we value or look at running backs this year, I think has really changed the league. And how would you try to defend Saquon Barkley if you are the Kansas City Chiefs?
I think I would tell Spags immediately, let's get that safety down. Because me being a linebacker would be like, this is all I care about.
Give me 8 in the box.
This is how we got to stop it. I would think that would be the plan, whether it be do you bring Justin Reed? How do you use him? Or is it via pressure? Some type of pressure run blitzes in various gaps based on tendencies and formations. I think that's it. That's just something that you got to wait and see.
He's so hard, though, because if you blitz, one person gets out, this guy's going to hit his head on the goalpost. He has home run ability. He's different.
Just how hard of a tackle he is amazing. In the offseason, he gets attention for his training, and you joke about his quads and how big lower body he is, but that makes a tough tackle. The quickness, the spin moving ability, it's just so hard to bring him down. So that's another thing too. If it's into the fourth quarter and he hasn't had a 40-yard gain yet, that's a win.
Yeah,
that's got to be considered a win.
Yeah. Tell us some of the work you're doing with Heartmates and the Abbott program.
Yeah, Heartmates is a new program that we have at Abbott in terms of forming a community with heart survivors and stroke survivors, anyone that's gone through a cardiovascular event, where there's a community that, say, someone's gone through a similar situation as yourself, and you have that community to talk to. For me, myself, Heartmates is new, but Abbott's like a 20-year connection for me. Two decades ago, I had a stroke and I put an Abbott device into my heart. The upper chambers of my heart had a hole in it. They say that's how I had the stroke, so they closed it. And that was an Abbott device, an Amplatz or occluder. So 20 years in the making here, when I was coming back, I wish I would have had someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Ask the questions. All right, man, you've got this device in your heart. What's the healing process like?
Yeah.
How is it, recovery wise, 3 months, 6 months down the line? I didn't have that.
Right.
So that's what we're forming in Heartmates. And Peanut, I'm inviting you to join Heartmates also, because your family and what your daughter's gone through in terms of, this is for caregivers also. Because when I was coming back, my wife and I were not on the same page in terms of, this is a caregiver here and she wants everything to do for me, wants to help me, but I'm trying to come back and play football.
Right.
So the caregiver perspective, I think, is a big piece that's also included with Heartmates.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of, you talking about my daughter and I, we go fishing in my pond all the time. We catch little small bass, little small big mouth baby bass. What's the biggest fish you caught?
The biggest fish I've caught?
The biggest fish you've caught.
Not bass or anything?
Yeah, just anything.
It's got to be a shark. I've caught a shark before from the beach. Yeah, so I like sharking. And sharking is something that's done like at dusk, and you throw out some chunk bait out there. And
from the beach, not in a boat.
No, from the beach.
You like sharking.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. So what we're talking, I've caught, brown shark, sandbar shark, but also some, not a great white or anything like that we're talking about like this here. No, but from the shore, you can catch sand tigers, things like that. So,
but your feet are in the water.
You got to bring them in. Yeah. So here, you got the chunk bait, you're throwing it out there, you wait, and zzz, your drag goes out, right?
Uh-huh.
So I've got this a bait runner where you clicks over to your secondary drag, and then you bring it down. You set the hook. It's a circle hook, of course. You bring them on shore. Now you bring them on shore, then someone has to get behind it and grab the tail. All right, so you grab the tail and you bring them up.
It's me and you. We got to do this
because it's sort of a team thing.
Okay.
It's sort of a team thing. So you bring them up onto the shore. You grab the tail. You use the pliers and you get the circle hook out. Take your pictures. Boom. Shark.
I'm gonna grab the tail. You be in the water.
I think you gotta get in the water too. No. You gonna grab the tail.
What's your biggest bass though? Your biggest largie?
Probably about 6 pounds, 5 or 6 pounds.
Lake Fork, Texas, a few years ago, 9 pounder.
Oh, okay.
9 pounder.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the double digits yet, but Lake Fork's a great lake down in Texas.
Well, I like that.
But now we know if we want to get Tedy Bruschi fired up, let's talk about football and fishing.
Football and fishing.
The two Fs.
And I'm telling you, on Sunday NFL Countdown, me and Moss are on there saying Moss loves to fish.
He does love to fish.
Yeah, I've been down there on Lake Norman fishing with him.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I got that. So my last question for you. What is your Super Bowl prediction?
Super Bowl prediction, Harrison Butker for the win. Chiefs
by 3. Okay, Chiefs by 3.
It's what they've done all year.
I admire them trying to do something that's never been done before.
Yeah, absolutely.
I respect it. We failed going for 3 in a row. We failed going for the undefeated season. I sort of want to see if it can be done.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. I like that.
I love it when somebody else roots for other people's greatness. Most people do not root for Kansas City's greatness.
Yeah, and which I don't understand the New England fan perspective either. When a lot of hate goes toward Kansas City, and I talk to him, it's like, I'm so sick of the Chiefs, and it's like, that was me for even longer.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
I just see what they're doing. I see what they're trying to accomplish. Basically, know what it takes. It's hard, man. Fellas, it's hard, and I respect it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tedy, appreciate you coming on the pod,
man. Appreciate that, baby.
All right, appreciate it.